It's Space Station Gaming in the orange, G2 in the blue, or at least that's what I've been told. Is that what's actually happening? It is! Excellent! Alright, let's get into it. How have G2 been playing tonight? Are they having a good tournament? They did make it in without any losses in series, so I'm looking forward to seeing them. Oh, we got Chicago in the Octane. I am a big fan of that. I think that Chicago Octane is going to be a much smarter player than Dominus Octane. Dominus Octane. What on earth am I talking about? Speaking of stupidity. Yeah, I think Chicago plays a much smarter game when he's in the Octane compared to the Dominus. In fact, does that make the whole team all Octanes on G2's end? Very interesting to see the car breakdown statistics from EU and NA. NA still very Octane favored. I think over 70% of RLCSX level players play the Octane over the Fennec or the Dominus or any other car. But in Europe, the Fennec is actually the most popular car, with the Octane right behind it. You know, you guys might have your own theories on why that is. I think it's really quite simple. Teams just like to copycat whoever the best team is, and they like to copycat the best players. And although Justin does play a lot of cars, he's had, you know, a lot of success in the Octane, famously. Typical as well, always playing the Octane. He's been like easily one of the best players in NA. JNaps has always played the Octane. He's one of the best players historically and currently in the region. All the best players seem to be Octane players, and I think that's why everybody in North America plays the Octane. They just want to play the car, the guy who keeps beating them, or the guys who keep beating them. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't bode badly for Space Station Gaming, because they've got a Fennec on their team. Arsenal has been unbelievable today. Scored one of the sickest mind game into air dribble goals I have ever seen in round 1 of the competition. If you didn't get a chance to catch that one, be sure to head over to Smellsworth's channel and check probably his most viewed clip of the day. It's also a command in my chat, !nasty. Speaking of, Arsenal has just hit a crazy read here. What on earth is that? How does he predict where that ball's bouncing? Not only that, he predicts where the save is going to go, dunks it in past him. I mean, that's the kind of goal where I can already hear what's being said over at the G2 watch party. They're probably saying, well, first of all, probably something along the lines of, no! And then, silence. Not an awkward silence, just a silence. Followed by, yeah, to be fair, that was a pretty good goal, though. Or something to that effect. Yeah, and then, back to normal. Go next, let's go. That kind of thing. That's why people come to the SSG Mission Control stream. You don't just get Johnny Boy commentary, you also get my impressions of all the other streams. Or at least my bad impressions of all the other streams. I'll need to brush up on that one. I've not caught any of the G2 stream today. I'm not sure if that's, at all accurate or close to what's being said over there. Oh, wow. Oh, that recovery by Sipical, though. Absolute speed demon. Oh, it's falling out with Arsenal, though. We got a domestic and defense for Space Station Gaming. Oh, it's still going on. Sipical and Arsenal, you need to settle your differences. It looks like they've put their arguments to the side for now. They've got bigger fish to fry. Sipical's just like, dude, just get out of the way. Coming through. Scoring. Can you move, please? To be fair, he did score. You know when your teammate does that, when they bump you out of the way, then they miss. You're like, oh, come on, man. If you're going to bump me out of the way, at least put the ball in the back of the net. So it's typical on your team. You already know he's probably doing that. If he's bumping you out of the way, he most likely has a good reason for it. Unless, of course, you're playing ranked 2s. You guys didn't have a chance to watch my video on Arsenal and Typical playing 2s. They do like to troll each other a lot. They do like to make things difficult for each other. I suppose when ranked games are as easy as they are for those guys, they want to do something to make it interesting. Uh-oh. Speaking of, that was a questionable back pass from Arsenal. Well done by Rettles to pre-jump and clear the danger. Oh, Chicago trying to do it to them. That was a very difficult angle. It's gone straight down more than anything else. But oh, JNaps is right there to capitalize on the indecision from Arsenal at the near post. He was taking a bit too long to decide what to do here. Ball pops up after he crashes into Rizzo, and JNaps snipes the top corner. Obviously, you guys don't just want my impressions of the G2 stream when things are going poorly, but it's okay, I've got you covered. I believe what you missed is something along the lines of, let's go! But in maybe a little bit more feminine voice. talking about Orb, of course. Nah, I'm joking. Listen, G2 fans, don't get too angry. I'm joking. I definitely approve of the variety of streams we've got coming out of the grid. I think it's awesome. I think as far as fanboy streams go, or fangirl, I suppose, streams go, G2's is definitely the most genuine that I've heard. Definitely the most genuine. I don't think that they, I mean, for some of the streams, you've got to learn how to be a fan of the team that you're casting. For G2, I don't think anybody needs to teach Athena how to be a fan of G2. That is literally her reaction, whether she's doing a grid viewing party or whether she's watching them in, you know, RLCSX on the weekend. It's the same thing. Ooh, sneaky Chicago finds a way through, but only past one player. Arsenal pretending that he's got all the boosts in the world. G2 have found out that he's got none. Oh, that's dangerous. Rettles with a very nice touch away from the center of the box, but luckily for them, no one was there for G2. It would have been an open net, really. Is that going to be too little too late for G2? Couple demos coming in at the close of the game, but the last one will fall to Space Station Gaming, and now the ball will fall. Game 1 to SSG. So far this series turning out to be, or looking to be, just as exciting as we'd hoped. This is the kind of pace, this is the kind of aggression, this is the kind of level that we've come to expect from both these teams whenever they take to the field. However, G2 really need to try and stay with Space Station now. If Space Station can get another game, that's bad news for G2. They were swept last weekend in the Grid Grand Final by Envy. They were swept by Space Station Gaming the week before in week 3 in the quarterfinals. And no doubt if they, you know, lose another game here, they're starting to think, oh dear, this might be happening again. And not even 3 Octanes were able to save us. Why are there so many players in reserve for Space Station? They're in a 3v0 here after the demo comes in. Chicago's stealing one boost, JNaps is stealing the other one, and nobody's helping out Rizzo in defense. Poor Rizzo left all alone. He needed somebody to help him there. I really don't think the boost steal by Chicago is the right idea. JNaps is kind of there anyway. He was making a play on the ball, and then afterwards he went for the boost. But what possessed Chicago to move that aggressively up the field is beyond me. Oh, once again, there's nobody in the center for G2, and another save for Space Station on the goal line. You know, Space Station are quite lucky to have got away with not just that opportunity, but the last game also had a real chance for G2 to score, but the ball just went straight across the box and nobody was there. And I think, you know, finding the right times to move in, that's been their mistake, their biggest mistake so far. We had Chicago going up way too aggressively when he shouldn't, and now when somebody should be there being aggressive in the play, no one's there. G2 needing to figure out when to step up the pressure. Look at Rettles' positioning before this aerial. That is what you want to see if you're a Space Station fan. He comes in from the far side of the field, full speed, top bins, 22 kilometers an hour. That's an absolute banger of a shot. But for me, I mean, you already know I'm going to say it. It's all about the approach. Rettles, such a smart player, giving himself lots of options. But the difference between Rettles' far post approach there and the one that I was criticizing from Chicago earlier is that Rettles didn't go all in. He didn't, you know, go for a boost steal when Space Station are about to take a 50-50. He waited to move in until it was obvious, until it was clear that he had a very good chance on the ball and a very good play to work with. That's the decision making that's really separated G2 and Space Station Gaming so far this series. Mechanically, they look to be entirely equal. G2, for now, are remaining consistent in that regard. The Space Station's decision making has been far superior. Moving up at the right time, staying back at the right time, and the same cannot be said for G2, who are now G3-0. They're about to be G2-0 down in the series, actually. But where's the third man again? G2 just don't have any defense. So we've talked about this in the past. We've talked about this in previous weeks that we've casted G2 versus Space Station games in the grid. Like, one of the weaknesses historically for G2 and currently, oh dear, have they just own gold that? I mean, they may as well have with how close that was to going in. But anyway, like I was saying, G2's playstyle, they play with full trust in each other at all times. And I think they might have to dial it back a little. It worked for a while. I think, yeah, for Season 9, no one will deny that G2 were the top team in the region, maybe even the world. And their aggression, their trust that they had in each other to make plays consistently and to make contact consistently on the ball, it was working out because they were able to go entire games, entire series without any huge mistakes. And the pressure that comes when you play with full trust in your teammates and don't make any big blunders, it's immense. It really does apply tons and tons of pressure on your opponents. But when you're against a team like Space Station, who are demoing your third man on occasion, it doesn't really matter if you've got faith in him. It doesn't matter if you trust your third man. If he's been demoed, who cares? It's not like he's even able to make a play. And yeah, with that in mind, I think G2 needs to dial it back a little bit. I think they need to calm down with their aggression just slightly, because they turn games which are, 1-0 deficits into 2-0, 3-0 deficits quite regularly. Big chance for Chicago. Oh, he was close, but not close enough. And now Space Station are scrambling the ball clear once again. And although it looks a bit messy, Space Station have done a really outstanding job today, just with the goalmouth scrambles that do occur in Rocket League. That's far from the first time that I've seen. It's like, I think maybe closer to the 10th time that I've seen them just get the ball away from danger, even though it's in front of their goal line, in front of the goal for maybe 3-4 seconds at a time. They always seem to get the last touch on it. They seem to get these last second saves, and it's frustrating to play against. You're throwing everything at them. G2 are just going all out here. They're playing so aggressively with their third man, and they cannot score. Space Station are just not giving them anything here. It's very smart, actually. Now, Space Station, oh, I like that pass attempt, actually. That was very close by G2. That would have been goal of the day by far, had it gone in. Speaking of pre-jump plays, I mean, I was about to say, Space Station are a bit known for getting a bit silly with games. They have a bit of fun at the end of matches where they think they're the favorites, but this is G2. You can't let your guard down at all. They could bring this back. They always can. So it's definitely too early. A minute left on the clock, a minute 30, way too early to be getting crazy with it. That is pretty crazy, though. What a play by Rettles. That's absolutely ridiculous. Let's find him real quick, see what he saw. Oh my goodness. Who needs ball cam? Just dancing underneath the ball. Had his dodge at the end of this full rotation. That makes it 4-0. At this rate, Space Station are going to make this a 4-0 series. G2 are totally lost. I really think that the defense is the issue for them. They don't need to force the issue this much in offense. I don't know if they're just frustrated that they can't score as many goals as they feel like they should be scoring. Maybe it's that. Maybe they just know that Space Station are going to be an immensely difficult team to get goals on, and with that in mind, they have to push harder than they would against other teams and leave themselves a bit more vulnerable in counterattacks and in defense. But from what I can see, they're not helping themselves out. G2 are not making this any easier on themselves by increasing their aggression beyond what I think is safe and smart aggression. So let's see if G2 are going to slow it down a little bit. Let's see if they're going to play with a bit more caution. If they're going to play with more of a focus on ironing out these defensive mistakes. And what's their main defensive mistake that they always seem to make? They leave their third man completely alone. Or they leave no third man at all. They just leave their net open. So if G2 can go a game without leaving an isolated third man or an open net for Space Station, I think I'll be impressed. But even then, it's not going to be easy. Oh, that's a nice shot, though. Chicago with the drop-down pass to Rizzo. We have to go to Chicago's POV for this one and see that pass. Wow. I don't know how much that was Chicago calling the pass, or that was, Rizzo reading the play beautifully. He just saw exactly where Chicago was planning to hit that one and got there before any of the defenders. Rattles with a double mind game. Rizzo way away from the play. Oh my goodness, what a response by Rattles. What on earth are G2 doing? Talk about isolated third man. Rizzo and Chicago both fly straight past the ball. Rattles with the cleanest 1v3 since Arsenal's to start off the day. But there was obviously a huge part of that was just Rettles being Rettles. Just being brilliant. Just knowing exactly how many touches he can take. Knowing exactly how to outplay someone in a 1v1 position when he gets one. And also bringing more mind games to the table than I think anybody else in the entire scene right now. The amount of mind games that Rails pulls off in these grids streams, just astronomical. Definitely the 5-head player in that regard. Oh, get out of here. Sypical with a dunk. No way. Oh, G2 they can feel a bit salty about this one. JNaps almost like committed early off the post here. But he's cleared it straight into Sypical's path, who, you know, might not have had any plans to dunk that ball, but when he saw it was coming at him, he thought, yes, thank you very much, I will take that. Oh no, G2. I didn't even get a chance to get to my second point there. Yes, Rettles was being amazing, but also G2, they did exactly what we told them not to do, exactly what we talked about them always doing. They leave their third man alone so often, and yes, 1v3 defense, 1v2 defense is possible, but you don't want to have to do it at the highest level, especially not against Space Station Gaming, who are so well known for run-ahead demos. They're so well known for the dribbling plays. It's probably the worst team in NA to leave an isolated defender against. Maybe even the worst team in the world to leave a third man by himself against. Alright, anyway, G2 are back in it. Rails isn't happy. He's not flicked on G2 enough this game. He's going to keep trying over and over again. Has somebody challenged him? Somebody told Rattles that they're going to sub with Prime if he clips on G2 twice in one game. Is that what we're seeing? I don't think anybody needs to sub to Rattles or offer him a Prime to make him want to do that. That's just how Rattles is. He wants to not just beat his opponents. He doesn't just want to beat on G2. He doesn't want to eliminate them from tournaments. He wants to style on them while doing it. Oh, that's a bad leave. Maybe a bit of miscommunication from Space Station. It looked like Arsenal just left this one to go through. Yeah, he definitely did. He imagined that Rettles had a good hit on that, but that's just gone straight in. So definitely a mistake there by Space Station Gaming. You know, the fact that Arsenal didn't throw himself at that ball with everything he had and, you know, at least try to get in the way of it shows that he thought the third man was right behind him. And that was definitely not the case. This is a chance for G2. They started off this game with another very, well, a great goal followed by a very messy piece of defending. But they've got themselves in front. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how they got there. They've got the lead. Now, can G2 stay in front by defending well for half a game? That's all they got to do. Just good defense. At least make Space Station step up. Oh, stepping up. Look at Rizzo again. He is a target man today. What a strike. Full volley. That is an exquisite air roll by Rizzo, generating so much power on the ball that was coming down at him. And he has to send it back up into the top corner the way it's coming. Beautiful. Brilliant strike by Rizzo. He's had a few of those today where he's in that position. Hey, they're going to get another one actually. G2 have to win this game. They just have to. Surely they're going to be able to close out this one. Brilliant 50-50 by Rizzo again. He delayed his approach on that challenge. Arsenal wanted to try and neutralize the ball in the corner. But Rizzo got there a bit later than Arsenal expected. Managed to knock it around him. This is really good play. And you know, when Rizzo steps up, I think he's the real key for G2. I think when he plays his best, the entire team is just brilliant. JNaps is known as the historical carry of the team. And everybody's always talking about how JNaps needs to play well. He needs to show up in order for G2 to perform. But I feel like JNaps always kind of shows up. Or he's always able to step up. Whenever G2 are playing well, JNaps is playing well. Well, basically, whenever Rizzo's playing well, JNaps is playing well. But it's not like it works the other way. Whenever JNaps is playing well, isn't a guarantee that Rizzo's playing well. So, yeah, G2 just need to figure out a way to get Rizzo to play well consistently. Because as soon as that happens, JNaps guaranteed he's going to be playing well. Chicago, he's going to slot in easy peasy on all the plays. But yeah, all it takes is like Rizzo missing one ball, and then suddenly G2 get a bit tilted. But yeah, when G2 look like tournament winning G2, when they look like best team in the world G2, I really feel it's because Rizzo's stepping up and showing why he belongs in this team, showing why he's on this team. And right now that's what's happening. Rizzo stepped up. G2 look really threatening, but they're not out of the woods yet. Space Station did score one more goal while I was rambling, but here's Rizzo in that same spot again. This time he'll have his shot saved. Arsenal's flying after this. He won't make contact. Rizzo into the middle for JNaps. He's going to go for a high double. Not a bad shot, actually, but they need to be careful. This is the kind of position where G2 are very often caught out when they're trying to force the issue, and they're, you know, all getting involved in offense, and they don't realize that somebody's recovery wasn't the greatest. Somebody landed poorly. Somebody got bumped on their exit. Somebody just doesn't have any boost to get back as quickly as they want. When you assume perfection, every imperfection surprises you. It comes as a total surprise. Oh, wow. How did Typical squeeze that one in? That's an unbelievable effort there. No, it's actually Arsenal, sorry. Typical gets the goal. I didn't even realize that Typical is the one who stole that. Of course, that's good for Space Station. Typical wants to be top of the leaderboard. He knew that it wouldn't be likely if he allowed Arsenal one more goal. Oh, cheeky kickoff there by Space Station. I really like that. Coach Chrome's been drawing up the strategies, clearly, because they just went for a kickoff that's very popular in 2v2. Faking on the diagonal. Running on to get the demo and the cheating player from G2. And you already know that G2 are almost always going to have a cheating player on every kickoff. That's very common at the highest level. And then trying to get a passing play started. It didn't work out, but I really like that. That's a good idea to be going for late in a game like this where you're down by one. Some people call it the Spanish kickoff. Some people call it the Middle East kickoff. I don't think it really matters, personally. Lots and lots of players started doing this in the EU rank ladder kind of around the same time, and I have no idea who came up with it, but yeah, I just call it the diagonal fake demo because that's what it is. What do you call it, Chrome? Is Chrome watching? What do you call out in the Space Station comms? Watch him say, do the Spanish kickoff. Yeah, I don't know who came up with it first. Whoops, that's 3-0. That's not what happened. The Chrome kickoff. Surely not. The Breezy kickoff. I know, Breezy doesn't have enough simps. Per Breezy. He doesn't get simped anywhere near as hard as Cuxer or Musty or who else gets simped out? Doomsy even. I think Doomsy has more simps than Breezy. Breezy needs more simps for sure. Rattles brought that to the team. He did it with a peeps called Banana. I guess, yeah, it kind of makes sense because you're coming in diagonally, then you take a sharp turn. Although bananas don't really have sharp corners. It's more like just a curve. I mean, if you curve your approach too much on that kickoff, it's very obvious what you're doing. Rattles chips it up to Arsenal. Has he asked too much of Arsenal here? He may have. It's no simp September. Well, maybe for you guys. For me, it's just no simp lifetime. Maybe in my next life, if reincarnation turns out to be true, turns out to be a thing. Nah, it's fine, it's fine. You guys can simp. I'm not gonna judge. Not gonna judge. Uh-oh. Look at G2. They might have left their last man back alone again. Luckily this time, the Space Station counter was a slow one. No simp ever. It's never boring in a Johnny Boy chat, that's for sure. Yeah, like I said earlier, I feel like I really appreciate you guys being here. I have a lot of laughs just by taking a glance over at the chat during these casts, during show matches, during basically anything that I'm streaming. You guys are great. That's why we had to time out that guy earlier for just not being funny enough. Again, sorry for that guy. I'm rooting for you, dude. I really hope the jokes come together in the future. I'll be the first to laugh. I'll be the first to type kick W when you say something funny. But yeah, it'll have to be the next stream. I think I timed it out for 8 hours. That seemed like a sufficient time frame. Uh-oh, look out. That's a monstrous volley by Rettles. He's been watching, or maybe playing 1v1 with plays like that. And Arsenal will drill in the rebound. Typical's pass proving to be too much for G2 to handle. Yeah, Rizzo should have had that. That's a mistake. It's definitely a mistake. Has Rettles been playing a lot or any ones recently, Chrome? Has he been practicing the bounce dribbles? Now, bounce dribbles like that they're pretty good in 2v2 as well, because you can get the ball moving very quickly with them. So, you know, it does happen in 2v2, but definitely nowhere near as much. You don't get anywhere near as many opportunities. A lot of 2s, yeah, so I would probably put it down to the 2s practice. It's so rare in 3s. Like, getting a bounce dribble like that started into a massive volley maybe will happen one time every 3 series, like 3 or 4 series in 3v3. But it's still something that every player should want to practice and be able to do, because, I mean, you guys saw the power that Rettles is able to generate on that shot. Truly unbelievable. And it's one of those shots that you need to practice it. You need to practice the setup there. You need to practice the angling. You need to practice the run-up, the contact. Everything is so different, you know, making that contact on full volley compared to a half volley. So, yeah, Rettles clearly has it down. And yeah, 2v2 might be the best place to learn that for getting better at 3v3 dribbling. Like, even though you're going to get more opportunities to dribble like that in 1s, the time that you have is also kind of misleading, because you don't get anywhere near that much time in 2s or 3s to just, you know, perfectly space one player away from the game. I think 1v1, really, it's funny, like, a lot of people think that 1v1 is good for 3v3 because of the dribbling that you can do in 1s, but actually I don't think that's where it comes in handy. I think it comes in handy with challenging. Probably the main thing is challenging the ball. Spacing, like how far away do you need to be from a play in order to stay relevant in it. Oh, that's awkward. Well played by Arsenal. He's just gotten rid of that one in the nick of time. G2 in a spot of bother here. Yeah, like I was saying, I really think it's mostly, you know, 50-50s, challenges, fake challenges, like defensive maneuvering. That's where 1v1 is really, really helpful. Because, and also, I will actually say, the most 1v1, honestly, offensively, is probably going to translate most into 3v3 with the kind of aerial games that you can get going in 1s these days. Nothing, it's almost as if nothing isn't viable in 1s. Any kind of crazy, like, double, flip, reset, rebound, ceiling shot play, viable. It's actually viable in 1v1. And that translates really well into 3v3, because you can grind out so many crazy aerial plays in 1s with an opponent there trying to save all of them, which is not the same as free play, obviously. So yeah, you get so many chances to just style on somebody in the air and actually have a defender to beat. Yeah, very, very useful place to be practicing those, and more importantly, to be practicing the recoveries that happen after a failed style play or stylish play in the air in 1s. Oh, that's actually a chance. Wow, G2 have just got a way of making this interesting at the end of these games, but it wasn't meant to be. Space Station Gaming lead by 2. Come on, we need G2 to take one more game so we can hit them with the G2-4 meme at the end of a series. I've been waiting for that one. Hasn't happened yet. I don't think any of the series have gone 2-3 or 2-4 against G2 in the grid. And we'll see if they can get one more win here before Space Station dispose of them. Hey, maybe they'll get 3. That would be pretty crazy. That would be pretty fun for, I'm sure, a lot of you guys watching. Now, I'm not trying to start any drama here. I'm just genuinely curious, and no, you know, any answer here is the right answer. Or rather, there is no right or wrong answer to the question I'm about to ask. I'm just genuinely curious. How many of you guys are rooting for the G2 comeback? Type 2 in chat if you're rooting for G2 to come back and win. That's perfectly acceptable. Even in the Space Station Gaming Mission Control stream, we accept fans of all teams here. We are just here to watch great Rocket League, and G2 definitely provide us with great Rocket League regularly, and we appreciate them for that. Brilliant pre-jump save there from Arsenal, trying to keep this series, or keep this game, sorry, at a 1-goal score. But yeah, how many of you guys are looking for Space Station? How many of you guys want Space Station to win? Get ones in the chat for Space Station if you were rooting for them to get the win and advance to yet another grand final. Let's see how many ones and twos we got here. We had a ton of twos, by the way. Welcome to all of you G2 fans. You guys have been great so far. I know I've criticized the overall G2 Twitch fan base in previous streams. I like to meme on you guys a little bit. Today you guys have been fantastic. Hopefully we get some good games from here on out. Best of luck to the boys. I mean, Rizzo, JNaps, and Chicago are all such great guys. I've met them all several times at various events. Top lads. Top blokes, you could say. So, yeah, I'm rooting for all of them to have long and successful careers from here on. But, man, Space Station looking scary again. Clinical is how I would describe Space Station in this series. Incredibly clinical. G2 give them an inch, Space Station score. And G2 unfortunately at times have been giving Space Station ample opportunities. Lots of space to work with. Chances to make 2v1 plays. You know, G2 are pretty good at those 2v1 plays as well. If Space Station leave an isolated third man, I think G2 are one of the best teams. Timing a demo onto the last man and shooting at the same time. G2 are well up there in that regard. But the reason we don't get to see that as often from G2 in this matchup is because Space Station's defense is simply more reliable. Their style of defense, I think, lends itself to be a lot more successful in the current metagame. G2, like I said previously in Season 9, they were the team to beat. Their style just seemed to be perfect for the meta at the time, but now, not so much. Too risky. They need to really, I think, focus more on defense if they're going to get back up to the very top of their game. Because their offense is good enough as it is. They really don't need to be throwing themselves forward unnecessarily. They've got brilliant offense. They're an absolutely terrifying team to play against and to defend against. But I don't know, maybe they're just not as confident in the goals coming. They want to smash teams. Like the days where G2 are just smashing everybody in NA, I think are, for now, they're gone. For now, they're over. There was a while where G2 were smashing literally everybody, sweeping all the other teams in the region. But G2, that time is no longer here. Oh, that's a brilliant own goal. Oh, no, Space Station. Oh, what are they doing? Typical and Arsenal have done, or Typical and Rettles now. Teaming up on a brilliant near post own goal there. I mean, Rettles was involved, but really, I think that was Typical. What on earth was Typical doing, turning around and hitting that ball towards his own net? I mean, we know that Typical likes to ball chase, but there's a time and a place, Typical. There's a time and a place. And the time is not now, and the place is not in front of your own goal. That's so funny, though. I don't believe this. I mean, I mean, Smellsworth's not here to tell you guys, but you know what own goals mean. That means Twitch Prime. We don't promote, we don't get Prime to sponsor goals in Mission Control. Twitch Prime is the official sponsor of own goals only. So yeah, this goal, unfortunately, not sponsored. We have no product placement. We have no brand affiliation with this rebound from our Arsenal. We do, however, have Twitch Prime officially sponsoring team own goals, solo own goals, any own goal at all. Twitch Prime are all about that. There we go. The base god. Thank you for sponsoring that own goal. Yeah, Smells is asleep, but I think he just rolled over in his sleep. He was like, wait a minute. He's like, woken up, starts sniffing the air. He's like, do I smell an own goal? I think I just missed an own goal on the Mission Control stream. Right, there's the moment right there. That's the moment where G2 are pressing too hard. Chicago should not be making a play for that ball. That is, best case scenario, a 50-50 with a goalkeeper. Worst case scenario, Space Station scoring. Them's not good odds. Whoa, Sunless Eyes are gifted 20 subs to the community. Is that a sponsor, the official sponsor of Arsenal's Rebound? We didn't have a sponsor for Arsenal's Rebounds. We're going to be raking in gifted subs if gifted subs are, the official sponsor of Space Station Gaming Goals. My goodness. That would be a big play. Hope you're having a good night, Solace. I watched the video, by the way, that you mentioned, the one about the story with the rank game. I cannot believe that. That is an incredible effort. If you guys, I'm sure most of you guys have already seen it, but if you haven't, go watch Sunless' recent video. It's hilarious. I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but yeah, go watch it. Unlike my videos, it's short and sweet and gets to the point before like 45 minutes. So you're going to have a good time with that one. Alright, looks like we're going to OT. This could be the last game of the series. I mean, I'm low-key rooting for G2. I don't want to see them bomb out again. Come on, get a second game so we can hit them with the G2-4 after Space Station win. There it is! G2! Get the second one on the board. Okay, now Space Station can win. Now we can rest easy. Sick pass by JNaps. Chicago in the perfect place. And hits a shot with the perfect placement. And it looks like the official sponsor of that overtime goal is the destruction of the Rocket League party. 3-2. Okay, it's G2-3 now. G2-3. Let's see if Space Station Gaming can close it out. Oh, I mean, it's a win-win now. It's a win-win. We're either going to a Game 7 or we get the G2-4 score, which I know most of you guys are hoping for. I need to get another invite to that party. Please. I've been kicked. They're probably making the lobby without me. NRG got swept? No way. Did they? No. Surely not. Surely not. What? They actually got swept? What is it with Envy in these playoff brackets? They swept last week's playoff bracket? Are we getting swept in the final by Envy? Are we what? Is that what's about to happen? Hold on, let me just close out this face cam so you guys can actually see the game. There we go. Game number 6. Who's going to make it to the grand final to lose 4-0 to Envy, who for some reason are playing out of their minds in the playoff bracket for Grid these days? I mean, G2 were swept in the final last week. Somebody should tell them that Envy are in the final again, and they're just going to throw. I don't think they want to go to the final against Envy after what happened last week. They're not interested in that life. I wonder what will happen if you guys all head over to the G2 party and tell them, yo, Envy are in the final. Are they just going to be like, guys, it's been a good run. Whatever you do, don't win Game 7. That's crazy. I mean, I told you. I did tell you guys. I did tell you. It's a shame we're not going to get a play against NRG today because they're not making the final. Oh, would you look at that? G2 don't have a third man, and it's 1-0. It's 1-0. Chicago, where are you going, buddy? That's not the way to your goal. That's the mid boost. Your goal's the other way. Oh, man. That's just so risky. Need boost. Yeah, that's like literally my ranked teammates in a nutshell. I'm only rotating back when I get mid boost. I probably got time to get this mid boost. We got scored on. But at least we got the boost though. That's all that matters. If you're playing ranked with Johnny Boy. Out of position for 100 boost? Yes. Absolutely. As many times as possible. Yeah, if Chicago was in a Dominus, that would have been actually perfect. You can take the Dominus out of Chicago. Or you can take Chicago. I messed it up! The joke was right there. I beamed it. No! I can't believe I got that in the wrong order. Oh, man. Chicago's literally playing like a Dominus this game. I meant to say you can take Chicago out the Dominus. You can't take the Dominus out of Chicago. But I messed it up. I'm so angry at myself. I don't believe this. Oh, that was going to be so good. That was going to be like top 2 jokes of my entire streaming career. I don't know what the best one is, but I like to think that I've got a better one somewhere in my streaming career than that, because it's not that funny. Just I'd like to think that I've said something funnier than that, just for my ego, but couldn't tell you what it was. Didn't write it down. Time to go to the naughty corner for not being funny. Oh man, I've got to time myself out. Right, I'll promise not to type anything else in the Twitch chat for the rest of the stream, because I am not funny. I'm sorry, guys. I really tried. I mean, I had time yourself out, not funny. Exactly. Exactly. Nice shot by Chicago. There we go. He is such a Dominus this game, isn't he? Such a dominus game here. He's just driving around in defense like a headless chicken, and then he lasers in a redirect with, you know, about just over half the game to go. This is like dominus in a nutshell. That one wasn't too great, to be honest. Listen, you gotta give me something. I'm trying my best. Ooh. Very sneaky pass there by Chicago. I like that. He's definitely turned his monitor back on by the looks of things. So that's 2 good plays in a row. He's plugged the controller back in. I think he was playing KBM before that. Although, to be honest, like KBM would be bad mechanics. It wasn't really the mechanics that were lacking. It was just yeah, the monitor was probably a better analogy, because he was just driving around in random directions, making the worst decisions you could make in any position. I think, honestly, somebody just told Chicago that Envy are in the final, and he's like, okay, be right back. Just going to go get this boost, and we're losing. Nice. What do you mean Johnny always bringing out the boomer jokes? First Sunless is calling me a YouTube boomer. You guys just rubbing it in. Oh, sick pre-jump save by JNaps. Keeping G2 in this. I wonder if Space Station are going to throw away another game. Give G2 another 0-second equalizer. G2 have scored so many 0-second equalizers on Space Station in the grid. Why did Kronovi leave G2? You've been away from the scene a long time, I guess. He got benched. JNaps and Rizzo wanted to play with Chicago instead. Yeah, it worked out pretty well for them. I think it worked out pretty well for Kronovi as well, to be honest. His career kind of like, he himself as a player elevated his ability, I would say. And at times, Rogue have looked like a stunning team. So the potential is definitely there for Rogue and G2 to coexist as top teams in NA. No denying, though, that since G2 benched Kronovi, they've had an immensely one-sided record against them. I feel like every time I see G2 versus Rogue in a bracket, it's a 4-0 sweep or a 3-0 sweep. It's just G2 beat them. When was like, have Rogue beaten G2 ever? Like, 'cause I don't remember it. Like, there's so many insanely one-sided wins for G2 over Rogue that I don't remember Rogue ever beating G2. They've probably beaten them. They've almost definitely beaten them, but I don't remember it because it's dwarfed by G2 smashing them every single time they play. Oh, that's a big chance. Oh, the pass needed to be harder though. G2 are really pressing up for this. You can see that whoever's waiting second man in the middle is very close to the play. Again, JNaps, he's just stationary. G2, flat-footed, flat-tired, I should say, in the box. They need to be timing those runs into that position from the back post or from the far side of the field. This is a great chance though. Chicago off the post. G2 still hunting for that late equalizer. Arsenal with a mind game. He dribbles past another, and that might be game. G2 need to do the impossible from this position. Good start though. Very good start, but nice interception. Typical makes it. G2 4. It actually happened. G2 4. Hey, at least they didn't get swept out this week. That's definitely, they're making improvements. They're making improvements. And we do get a rematch of the series from earlier on in the day. Is this the first time that there's been a rematch, a grid rematch? Is this the first grid rematch ever? Because the way that the grid works is, in order for a rematch to occur, let me just show you guys a bracket. In order for a rematch to occur, 2 teams that played in the group stage need to both make the grand final. That's the only place you can have a rematch in this entire tournament. And I think this might be the first time it's happened, which is pretty crazy. V, thanks for gifting 5 subs, dude. NRG got swept? No way. Did they? No. Surely not. Surely not. What? They actually got swept? What is it with Envy in these playoff brackets? They swept last week's playoff bracket? Are we getting swept in the final by Envy? Are we what? Is that what's about to happen? Hold on, let me just close out this face cam so you guys can actually see the game. There we go. Game number 6. Who's going to make it to the grand final to lose 4-0 to Envy, who for some reason are playing out of their minds in the playoff bracket for grid these days? I mean, G2 were swept in the final last week. Somebody should tell them that Envy are in the final again, and they're just going to throw. I don't think they want to go to the final against Envy after what happened last week. They're not interested in that life. I wonder what will happen if you guys all head over to the G2 party and tell them, yo, Envy are in the final. Are they just going to be like, guys, it's been a good run. Whatever you do, don't win Game 7. That's crazy. I mean, I told you. I did tell you guys. I did tell you. It's a shame we're not going to get a play against NRG today because they're not making the final. Oh, would you look at that? G2 don't have a third man, and it's 1-0. It's 1-0. Chicago, where you going, buddy? That's not the way to your goal. That's the mid boost. Your goal's the other way. Oh, man. That's just so risky. Need boost. Yeah, that's like literally my ranked teammates in a nutshell. I'm only rotating back when I get mid boost. I probably got time to get this mid boost. We got scored on. But at least we got the boost though. That's all that matters. If you're playing ranked with Johnny Boy. Out of position for 100 boost? Yes. Absolutely. As many times as possible. Yeah, if Chicago was in a Dominus, that would have been actually perfect. You can take the Dominus out of Chicago. Or you can take Chicago. I messed it up! The joke was right there. I beamed it. No! I can't believe I got that in the wrong order. Oh, man. Chicago's literally playing like a Dominus this game. I meant to say you could take Chicago out the Dominus. You can't take the Dominus out of Chicago. But I messed it up. I'm so angry at myself. I don't believe this. Oh, that was going to be so good. That was going to be like top 2 jokes of my entire streaming career. I don't know what the best one is, but I like to think that I've got a better one somewhere in my streaming career than that, because it's not that funny. Just I'd like to think that I've said something funnier than that, just for my ego, but couldn't tell you what it was. Didn't write it down. Time to go to the naughty corner for not being funny. Oh man, I've got to time myself out. Right, I'll promise not to type anything else in the Twitch chat for the rest of the stream, because I am not funny. I'm sorry guys. I really tried. I mean, I had time yourself out, not funny. Exactly. Exactly. Nice shot by Chicago. There we go. He is such a Dominus this game, isn't he? Such a Dominus game here. He's just driving around in defense like a headless chicken, and then he lasers in a redirect with, you know, about just over half the game to go. This is like Dominus in a nutshell. That one wasn't too great, to be honest. Listen, you gotta give me something. I'm trying my best. Ooh. Very sneaky pass there by Chicago. I like that. He's definitely turned his monitor back on by the looks of things. So that's 2 good plays in a row. He's plugged the controller back in. I think he was playing KBM before that. Although, to be honest, like KBM would be bad mechanics. It wasn't really the mechanics that were lacking. It was just yeah, the monitor was probably a better analogy, because he was just driving around in random directions, making the worst decisions you could make in any position. I think, honestly, somebody just told Chicago that NV are in the final, and he's like, okay, be right back. Just going to go get this boost, and we're losing. Nice. What do you mean Johnny always bringing out the boomer jokes? First Sunless is calling me a YouTube boomer. You guys just rubbing it in. Oh, sick pre-jump save by JNaps. Keeping G2 in this. I wonder if Space Station are going to throw away another game. Give G2 another 0-second equalizer. G2 have scored so many 0-second equalizers on Space Station in the grid. Why did Kronovi leave G2? You've been away from the scene a long time, I guess. He got benched. JNaps and Rizzo wanted to play with Chicago instead. Yeah, it worked out pretty well for them. I think it worked out pretty well for Kronovi as well, to be honest. His career kind of like, he himself as a player elevated his ability, I would say. And at times, Rogue have looked like a stunning team. So the potential is definitely there for Rogue and G2 to coexist as top teams in NA. No denying, though, that since G2 benched Kronovi, they've had an immensely one-sided record against them. I feel like every time I see G2 versus Rogue on a bracket, it's a 4-0 sweep or a 3-0 sweep. It's just G2 beat them. When was like, have Rogue beaten G2 ever? Like, 'cause I don't remember it. Like, there's so many insanely one-sided wins for G2 over Rogue that I don't remember Rogue ever beating G2. They've probably beaten them. They've almost definitely beaten them, but I don't remember it because it's dwarfed by G2 smashing them every single time they play. Oh, that's a big chance. Oh, the pass needed to be harder though. G2 are really pressing up for this. You can see that whoever's waiting second man in the middle is very close to the play. Again, JNaps, he's just stationary. G2, flat-footed, flat-tired, I should say, in the box. They need to be timing those runs into that position from the back post or from the far side of the field. This is a great chance though. Chicago off the post. G2 still hunting for that late equalizer. Arsenal with a mind game. He dribbles past another, and that might be game. G2 need to do the impossible from this position. Good start though. Very good start, but nice interception. Typical makes it. G2-4. It's actually happened. G2-4. Hey, at least they didn't get swept out this week. That's definitely, they're making improvements.